Teaching adults how to swim from the very beginning is not taking a kids program and just hoping it works for adults. This week, I'm going to uncover the unique opportunities and differences there are with teaching adults versus teaching children. Now, if you're somebody here as a student, you still want to stay tuned because understanding what makes you different as a learner is really going to help you show up differently, ask different questions, seek out different resources in your swimming journey. Tuning in today is going to give you a more joyful and successful experience with learning as an adult, in the pool or in life. I'm Corey Micah, the creator of the Foundation of Change Learning System. This was developed over 20 years of me teaching adults to go from fear to freedom in the water. It's been my greatest joy and honor to learn alongside of adults doing something that is really overcoming for many people, something really big. Swimming can be very scary or a very difficult skill for people to acquire. After all, we have heard the tragic stories, or some people even have some experiences themselves that have left a really big mark. But we also can see how very young children do it with such ease. For the adult learner, understanding the process is a very important step. Swimming is supposed to be fun and easy. Learning to swim should be that way too. Let's jump in and uncover what the differences are so you can move forward with them with great success as a teacher, or you could move forward with great success as a student. Here we go. So the first thing is that an adult brain is different than a child's brain. I mean, just mechanically, we're learning so much about the science of how our brains function. And the child brain and the adult brain, they are not the same. It's not like you take a small version of an adult, it's not like you just shrink it down and make it bigger. How the brain actually functions and performs and operates in a child is different than an adult. So some of these amazing things, as an adult, you have the biggest area that gets developed over time, which is really kind of the section of our brain that we call the executive function. So this is the area of our brain that controls impulse, right? This is why you don't have to have somebody hold your hand anymore when you cross the street. Children need somebody who have a developed executive function for that impulse control to hold their hand when they're crossing the street. Adults also have an amazing ability to stop and assess for danger. You can think about these things of the past, you can extrapolate them to possible futures, right? This is why you don't have to reconsider every time you come to a road. You just have to have one road, and then you can go over and notice the characteristics of a residential road versus a freeway and make very good predictable future assumptions. Part of this impulse control is this ability to stop and make that assessment and then proceed. Now, for every good side, there is a flip side, and it's useful to look at both sides. So there's a benefit of this way of our brain, of the adult brain, in terms of learning to swim, and there's a not helpful side to it. As teachers, we want to be able to have the balance of both, to tap into the benefit side and to help normalize and bring to a benefit the side that currently isn't a benefit. This executive function part of our brain that can predict the future and see from the past can be a place that keeps us stuck. We get so stuck in thinking about these two places, we're not actually in the moment right now to see a path forward. We can really get stuck in all of the possible negative outcomes, things that we want to avoid, that it blocks us from seeing a path of how we can be in action, to see the information that's existing right now in the present time. We get a lot of conversations about what is going to happen when I'm in the middle of the lake. Okay, it's not a bad question to ask, but we need to be able to see, well, how did you get into the middle of the lake in the first place? This concern about the middle of the lake feels terrible because right now, you're right, you don't have maybe the skills to handle being in the middle of the lake for an extended period of time. So thinking about the middle of the lake prevents you from finding out, actually, all I have to do is know that I have air when I'm sitting on the step in the shallow end. Oh, well, that feels good to know that I have air. But we like to stay somewhere out there, future, or what happened in the past. And it leaves us out of what's happening in the present. Point number 2. Physical coordination. Adults are really physically coordinated. Now, I know you might be jumping to the, oh, I'm not very physically coordinated, but let's just take for a second and look at little kids. Like, how do you describe them? They got bruised up knees and scraped up elbows. You know, the hallmark of being a kid is the getting whacked by a swing and crying, needing some adult to help console them. I mean, they're a physically uncoordinated mess. They are just out there doing stuff and bopping around and falling around. Now, the great side of that is they're out there doing stuff. And this is why they can learn so many things so quickly. How they learn to ride a bike and to run and jump and climb and dance and all the things. Because they don't have that executive function part of their brain telling them to stop all this. And they're really willing, even though they're not coordinated, to go out and just do these things. But we want to notice that adults are coordinated. Don't use that past and present thing, the storytelling of executive function, to get in the way of seeing how coordinated adults are. Think about, I recently had a pediatric surgeon come in. I mean, so coordinated to do this intricate detail of stuff. And even just to be standing at the surgeon table, thinking about things, these past and future things, while physically doing whatever it is you're doing in this tiny little space, and telling people what to do and knowing how to stand so you can rest your body and use your body and readjust because your body gets tired from standing there for a long time in an intense situation. That is coordination. My firefighter spouse, out there with all that gear and climbing up and down things and moving around. Incredible coordination. Even, I won't just take it to these maybe extreme professions, even if you're a video game player, something I am not, but this like coordinating all those little buttons that could be on your device and your drink and your snack item and your phone, right? A coordination of a bunch of different things. Adults are coordinated. Driving. If you've ever taught a 15-year-old how to drive, suddenly you realize how incredibly coordinated you are of all of the information and the physical part that goes along with it. Adults really actually are quite coordinated. But, all right, what's the shadow side of it? Is because we are so used to being coordinated, we are so used to being successful that we no longer want to get that scraped elbow. It is true that when we break something as adults, they can have bigger consequences, take longer to heal maybe than children do. So we don't want to. We hesitate around trying new things in a physical sphere. We are so used to the areas that we are comfortable in and that we already have success in that it has been a while since we've been in that position of failing forward, which is what children are doing all the time. All the time. They're failing and failing and failing and look at that. Fail and fail and fail. Oh, look at that. This is what learning is all about. We become attached to our physical coordination as adults. And so then we've gotten ourselves out of the success of all that failure, the success of all the hit and miss and hit and miss. And I think I got it a little bit. Hit and miss, hit. There it is again. We want the success in a hurry, very quickly. We want to get it right. We want to show that coordination that we are so used to in other parts of our life. But it's okay for us to take time to slow it down and to break it into smaller and smaller pieces until we do feel that sense of coordination. That executive function brain wants to do all of the parts. We want to apply the rules of gravity and land and ground coordination into the water, which is a whole new environment. It's like going to outer space. There's a reason why you train astronauts in water, because it is a completely different world. There's completely different rules at play. So we have to hone down our expectation of our coordination to smaller and smaller places till we say, oh yes, I recognize this feeling of flow and coordination that I have in this beautiful adult body. Which takes us to number 3, which is goal acquisition. Adults are really good at setting goals, focusing on goals, and achieving goals. Children, holy cow, the thing I think about with my kids when they were little that was one of the most difficult things for me was the hurricane of a mess that my house was every single day. From this activity to that activity to that thing to that thing to that thing. I mean, I could spend my whole day just either being behind them cleaning that stuff up or trying to make them clean that up as they go along. But their little brains are just going to all the different things and all the different ideas and moving on very quickly from one thing to another, which is a good thing. Back to that failing forward and being, they get to be all of these creative, exciting things in the world. And adults, we're good at focusing in. And this is amazing as a teacher. Like, yeah, I'm not trying to harangue kids to stay there that don't want to be there, or convincing a crying child who has an adult that has dragged them into the water to be there. Adults come with this internal autonomy of desire and curiosity. Swimming is supposed to be fun and easy, and learning should be that way too. And because it's new and different, and inherently dangerous. There's a double meaning in here. There's the dangerous of, there's some physical danger in swimming, just like there is in driving or flying or frankly stepping out of your house. But the other kind of danger that's inherently there in learning something new is the emotional danger. The emotional danger of feeling bad in the journey, of holding it against yourself when you don't meet your goal in a certain amount of time, of setting a goal that is bigger than what was realistic for you because you needed that big goal to get you started. You didn't know what the smaller goals were to go in it that accumulate to this goal. So many people come to me with the goal of treading water. And when we find out really what they want is to feel comfortable and confident in the deep water, they just happen to only see people doing treading water and think that's the key to the success there. The sneaky shadow side of adults' great ability to focus on particular goals is the self-doubt and the overwhelm and the criticism that can come up when we are so focused on that goal. It leaves us attached to the goal and not attached to the process. This is where kids have the advantage, is that they are just in the process of being, right? Their whole being is just immersed in the world of discovery. They're less attached to whether or not they build the biggest Lego tower or they actually ride the fastest, because in their own brain, they are the speed demon biker something or other. Seeing my kid wearing their tie and their cape and their shield marching down the sidewalk, right? They just are in the present moment in all their bigness. As adults, when we spend too much time focused on the future or focused on the past, it leaves us out of the place where the fun and the joy and the curiosity is right now. Finding out, how does buoyancy work? Finding out, how does it work to get water in my nose and keep it out of my nose? How does it work to know that I'm emotionally and physically safe every step of the way? How does it feel for me to be in charge of my process because I am a smart, creative, adult-brained learner? Teaching adults is the best thing ever. I love it so much. So much so, this is why we are super excited to announce an upcoming instructor training. The best way, if you are curious about teaching adults, learning more of how to really meet adults where they are in their learning process and really help them with those 80% mental and the 20% physical, so that they can be just as successful in the water as they are being a pediatric surgeon. We know they can do it. It's just a matter of taking all those beautiful adult ways of being, combining them with those beautiful kid ways of being that are in there as well. This is something that sounds at all interesting to you. Go into the show notes and sign up. There's a link for the waiting list to be notified when the next class opens. When you get on that waiting list, you're automatically enrolled into a free first course, because we want you to get started with yourself. You're your own adult learner experiment. And if you're a student, if you're somebody looking to learn to swim, there's free stuff in the show notes for you too, because it's always in that foundation of change, the 80% mental to the 20% physical. To bring that change, we have to take an action step. You have to stop and assess and use your adult power and then take a step forward. So take a step, grab one of the classes down there, the right one for you, the student or the teacher one, and make sure you subscribe so you see more videos. Thanks for being here.